This is my video editing setup for 2021. Let's get into it.
When we were still alive.
So if you are new here, my name is Jacob Scott. I make photography and filmmaking videos just like this one, or video editing videos just like this one. Now, this sort of desk setup tour thing is something that I've done pretty much every year, I think for the past 3 to 4 years now. If you've seen my last desk setup when I did the 2020 one, it hasn't changed a ton since then, but there is a couple new things and a couple of new things that I'm really excited about. And also these videos tend to do really well and bring a lot of new people to the channel. So let's get into it. So starting off with my monitors, I do have two LG 32-inch monitors. Now I've talked about these monitors plenty of times, and over I do say, if you're not working with multiple monitors for multitasking, especially when video editing, it really does help to speed up your workflow. I mainly like to use my top screen here for, I'm not even pointing at it, right there. I mainly like to use that top screen for previewing back videos. One of the biggest things that it does help with when you have a preview that's that big, it really does help you to be able to spot things that you may have missed when it's just a smaller preview. So if there's mistakes, you're having to render less times, because when you play it back after you've already rendered it and you notice there's a mistake, then you don't have to go back and fix it and render it again. Also, it's a lot easier to just work with colors when you have a display like that to work with the entire display. Now, talking about the biggest thing that has changed, and that is going to be my studio monitors right here. So previously, I was using the Monoprice 5-inch studio monitors, which were great monitors for the money. But if you do have the money to swing for the KRK Rocket 5s, or any KRK monitor to be exact, I would highly recommend it. These things are absolutely insane, especially for the fact that I do love to just listen to music as well. These things pack a massive punch over the Monoprice 5-inch. Now, if you're just coming from a normal set of computer speakers, those Monoprice will absolutely blow your mind. But coming from the Monoprice to these still blew my mind. The amount of power that these things have, especially when you're running it through an audio interface like the one that I'm using, the Behringer Euphoria UMC22, it really does just completely change your overall audio experience, whether you're editing audio, working with audio, or just listening to music throughout the day. Now, talking about the things that are actually sitting on the desk, starting with the keyboard, same one that I was using last year, the An Pro 2. But compared to last year when I was having some issues with the Bluetooth not working all the time and battery dying pretty fast, those issues have pretty much been completely resolved over some updates. So before I would get an average of maybe 2-3 days battery life using just Bluetooth. Now I'll get around a week, if not a little bit more, running wireless with this keyboard. And as for connection problems, I pretty much have no connection problems at all. I don't know if it was something that needed to be updated on my computer or with the keyboard, but either way, since doing some updates, it's been completely worked out, it seems. Now I'm still also using the same mouse as last year, the Logitech G602. Reason that I really do like this mouse is it wasn't super expensive, it is wireless, and it is actually pretty functional considering that there is a macro keys on there. So having just those macros to create quick shortcuts to help speed up workflow when video editing. And that's just sitting on a Logitech mouse pad that's super thin, so it helps you keep things looking as minimal as possible. And the one thing on the desk that I do get the most questions about is right there. The Stream Deck, it's gonna be the 15 key version. So I think they have like a 32 or 30 key version, and I think it's a 9 key version or 6 key version. Pretty much, I just use that to, again, speed up workflow in Premiere Pro, create custom shortcuts for anything that I want to do in Premiere Pro to just go ahead and help speed up workflow. But I've already had a lot of videos on some of the things that I already talked about, which I will have linked in the description below. Now, as for the actual desk itself and the speaker stands that the speakers are on, the speaker stands, I custom built those. Those I found a video on YouTube, and I built them for like 30 bucks. The desk itself is just a piece of wood. Someone gave it to me. I think it came from just Home Depot. Went ahead, sanded it, and stained it. And as for the legs, those are just going to be some legs from IKEA. Sitting under the desk, though, I do have a USB 3.0 for any time that I may have to plug my phone into my computer. And I also do have an SD card reader right there ready to go all the time. That is one of the things that has saved me probably the most time, being able to have that SD card reader always ready to go, not having to go ahead, find it, having it in a drawer somewhere. So as soon as I'm done shooting this video, I can go ahead, pull the SD card out, and start transferring files right then and there. Now, as for my computer, a few things have changed since 2020. I'm just pretty much gonna go ahead and list the spec sheet here. It's honestly a super powerhouse that still does not love the A7 III files, so I still will convert my files to either ProRes or DNx HD for faster editing, and so I don't have to use a crappy proxy when editing, because I hate using proxies because they look horrible, and when trying to color grade, they look horrible. So I really do like using DNx HD or ProRes on this computer because it just chews those up and it looks way better. And last thing to mention, I do just have a wireless charger sitting on my desk, which is kind of annoying because it's the only thing that you can see a little bit of a cable with. But that is pretty much it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them below, including the hate comments. You know who I'm talking about. I love the hate comments. Keep them coming. I'll see you later.